everyone, my name is Alameda Vidrio Lalas, and today I'll be discussing the overview of lung cancer. So lung cancer is a type of cancer that starts in the lungs, which is responsible siya sa paghinga and yung pag-exchange ng oxygen in the body. So according to the World Health Organization, isa ito sa leading causes of cancer-related deaths worldwide. Ibig sabihin, napaka-serious nito at maraming naapektuhan. So, it usually develops when normal cells in the lungs grow uncontrollably, forming a tumor. So, nangyayari yung lung cancer kapag yung normal cells is nagiging abnormal and uncontrollable yung growth. Kaya bumubuo siya ng tumor. So kapag hindi naagapan, pwede itong kumalat sa ibang organs, yung other organs, like sa brain, sa bones, pwede rin sa liver. So yun yung tinatawag nating metastasis. And the most common causes of lung cancer is smoking, but non-smokers can also develop it due to exposure to second-hand smoke. Pag sinabi natin second-hand smoke, kahit hindi ka smoker, is pwede ka pa rin magkaroon ng lung cancer kung nalalanghap mo yung usok ng taong nagsisigarilyo sa tabi mo or kahit na sino. Next naman is exposure sa chemicals tulad na lang ng asbestos and radon. Next naman is genetics or family history. So kapag yung isang kamag-anak mo is dati nang may lung cancer, tapos nakuha mo yun sa kanya, pwede siyang mamana. Ganon yun. Next naman is yung occupational exposure. So for example, sa factories or sa pagmimina, pwede mo dun makuha. So take note, kahit healthy yung lifestyle mo, possible pa rin na mas mababa yung risk. We have types of lung cancer. First is the small cell lung cancer, which is 19%. So yung small cell lung cancer, ito yung mas mabilis lumaki, and isa to sa aggressive, and mas mabilis siya kumalat sa katawan, and usually nalilink siya sa heavy smoking. Next naman is the non-small cell lung cancer, which is 80%, which is, ito yung pinaka-common na type ng lung cancer. So, meron siyang subtypes, which is first, meron tayong squamous or epidermoid tumors, or tinatawag din natin siyang squamous cell carcinoma, which is 25 to 30%. So, dito, nagsisimula siya sa airway and connected siya sa smoking. Next naman is yung large cell carcinoma, which is 10 to 15%. So, kahit saan sa lungs, pwede siyang tumubo and mas mabilis siyang kumalat. Next naman is the adenocarcinoma, which is 40%. So, yung adenocarcinoma, ito yung pinaka-common, lalo na sa mga non-smokers. So, take note, ito yung pinaka-common sa mga non-smokers na nagsisimula siya sa outer parts ng lungs. So, meron tayong subtypes ng adenocarcinomas, which is the classic adenocarcinomas, which is 75 to 90%. So, yung classic adenocarcinoma, ito yung pinaka-common and mas mabagal yung growth and mas mataas yung chance na ma-detect early. Next naman is the bronchoalveolar cell carcinoma, which is 10 to 25%. So, mas early stage siya. And nagsisimula siya sa alveoli or sa air sacs and mas localized and hindi agad kumakalat. So, in short, yung classic carcinoma is common type, habang yung bronchoalveolar cell carcinoma naman is mas early siya and less aggressive. So, meron tayong other types, which is 1%. which is rare case lang siya and hindi common makita. Next is meron tayong undifferentiated, which is 15%. So, ito naman, pag sinabi naman natin undifferentiated, ito yung hindi madaling maklasify yung cancer cells and mas complicated siya i-diagnose at gamutin.
Good day everyone. So today I will discuss about the etiology, pathogenesis, signs and symptoms, diagnosis and treatment of lung cancer. So first is we have the etiology. Lung cancer is initiated either by the activation of oncogenes or the inactivation of tumor suppressor genes, which leads to uncontrolled replication and growth of the cells in the lungs. So ano nga ba itong oncogenes na sinasabi natin? These oncogenes are genes that are overly expressed or mutated, which can cause or have the potential to cause cancer. So next, the leading cause of lung cancer is smoking tobacco, which is responsible for 80% to 90% of deaths. So other causes, gaya nung sinabi kanina, includes exposure to random gas, second-hand smokers, occupational hazards, air pollution, genetics, and personal history. So moving on, we have the pathogenesis. Lung cancer happens when cells in the lungs develop changes in their DNA. In healthy cells, the DNA gives instructions to grow and multiply at a set rate. The instructions tell the cells to die at a set time. In cancer cells, the DNA changes gives different instructions. The changes tells the cancer cells to make many more cells quickly. So kapag nasa cancer cells kasi, hindi sila nag-undergo ng apoptosis. So, reproduce lang sila ng reproduce hanggang sa nakaka-build sila ng tumor which can leads to cancer. So next, chronic exposure to carcinogens causes mutations in tumor suppressor genes such as the p53 and p16, which normally inhibit tumor growth, and activation of oncogenes such as the MYC, BCL2, KRAS that promotes cell growth. These alterations allow cells to evade apoptosis or yung tinatawag nating cell death. So these mutated cells form tumors commonly initiating in the bronchial epithelium. So next is we have the causes and risk factors. Smoking tobacco is the primary cause of lung cancer. An example includes cigarettes, cigars, and pipes which contains a toxic mix of more than 7,000 chemicals. So, yung random gas naman na sinasabi natin kanina, these are naturally occurring radioactive gas that forms in rocks, soil, and water. So next is we have secondhand smoke. So breathing in smoke from other cigarettes contains the same cancer-causing agent, which can also lead to lung cancer. Occupational hazard and pollution. Certain chemicals and substances such as arsenic, asbestos, cadmium, silica, and nickel used in industries may increase your risk of developing lung cancer. And also, nakalimutan kong i-dagdag, yung diesel fumes din is nakakakos ng lung cancer. So next is we have the signs and symptoms. Early warning. So we have the persistent cough, a new cough that does not go away or change in a chronic cough, coughing up blood, even small amounts of blood or rust-colored sputum can be fatal. Next is we have the chest pain. Pain that is often worse when breathing deeply, coughing, or laughing. Next is we have breathing issues such as shortness of breath, wheezing, or persistent hoarseness. Systemic symptoms includes unexplained weight loss, loss of appetite, and chronic fatigue or weakness. And last is we have the repeated infections, which includes frequent bronchitis or pneumonia. Okay, so next is we have the symptoms of advanced or spread or metastatic lung cancer. So gaya nga ng sinabi kanina, kapag metastatic na yung lung cancer, ibig sabihin, kumalat na siya sa buong katawan. Ito naman yung mga signs and symptoms niya. So first is we have bone pain, pain in the back, ribs or hips. Urological changes includes headaches, dizziness, seizures or confusion, swelling in the face, neck, or arms due to superior vena cava syndrome. So itong superior vena cava syndrome na sinasabi natin includes the obstruction or destruction of the main vein, returning the blood from the upper body. So next is we have the physical changes, which includes clubbing of fingertips and nail beds, or the widening or thickening of fingertips or nail beds. Next is we have the physical weakness such as muscle weakness or difficulty swallowing. And then next is we have the diagnosis. So under sa diagnosis, we have the imaging test and then the biopsy. So itong imaging test, we have 3 types, while the biopsy, we have 4 types. So first is we have the chest x-ray, which is often the first step para ma-identify kung prone ka ba or may lung cancer ka ba. Next is we have the CT scans, which provides detailed images to identify tumor location and size. And last is we have the PET scans or the PET-CT scans, which are used to see if the cancer has spread, as cancer cells absorb more radioactive sugar. So next is we have the diagnosis. So we have the biopsy. Ang biopsy is ginagamit na confirmatory test para sa lung cancer. So we have 4 types. So first is we have the needle biopsy. A needle is passed through the chest wall, often guided by CT scans. Bronchoscopy. A flexible tube with a camera is passed through the airways to view and sample tumors. Endobronchial ultrasound or EBUS uses sound waves to help guide biopsies of lymph nodes. And then we have the thoracoscopy or VATS, which is a surgical procedure to remove tissue samples. Okay, so last is we have the treatment. So first is we have the surgery, which is the primary or the preferred curative treatment for early stage lung cancer, wherein they remove the tumors from the lungs. Next is we have the radiation therapy or radiotherapy, which uses high energy beams like X-rays or protons to kill cancer cells or shrink tumors. Next is we have the chemotherapy, which is a systematic drug that travels throughout the body to kill rapidly growing cancer cells. It is often used before surgery to shrink tumors or after surgery to kill remaining cells. Next is we have the targeted therapy, precision medications that attack specific genetic mutations like EGFR or ELK that drive cancer growth. Next is we have the immunotherapy, treatments that help your own immune system recognize and attack cancer cells. And last is we have the angiogenesis inhibitors, which are drugs that block the formation of new blood vessels that tumors needs to grow. So if nagwa-wonder kayo or may question kayo kung bakit mas prone ng second-hand smokers kaysa sa first-hand smokers, is because mas toxic yung mga nalalanghap nilang smoke. Ganun kasi tayong tinatawag na mainstream smoke at saka side stream smoke. So yung mainstream smoke is the smoke na ina-exhale ng first-hand smokers, while yung side stream smoke naman is yung smoke na nanggagaling sa sigarilyo. And this causes more toxin to be inhaled by the second-hand smokers. So that's all for the pathogenesis, etiology, signs and symptoms, diagnosis, and treatment of lung cancer.
Good day everyone, I am Geraldine Bilog and today I will be discussing with you guys the distribution of lung cancer globally and especially here in the Philippines. So according to World Cancer Research Fund, in the year 2022 there were 2.5 million new cases and 1.8 million deaths. So if mapapansin kasi ninyo across the world, yung mga tao na natututo ng vices, especially smoking, is that pabata ng pabata. Especially na lang dito sa Philippines is meron tayong mga smokers na teens pa lang, di ba? And number 1 na rason natin dito is yung tobacco. Number 2, air pollution. And number 3 is occupational exposure. So, across the world, from the data ng 2022 is meron tayong bansa na merong maraming cases ng lung cancer. Yun yung Hungary. So dito naman sa Philippines, according to Journal of Thoracic Oncology, in the year 2022, around 23,728 new cases were reported here in the Philippines. More than 70% of cases are diagnosed at late stage, stage 3 and stage 4. So dito naman sa Philippines, ang place naman na meron tayong higher cases is yung Metro Manila and yung at Rizal. So
about 25% of Filipinos are age 15 and older are tobacco smokers. So yun yung isang nagiging factor kung bakit tumataas pa yung cases ng lung cancer dito sa Philippines. So sa buong mundo naman, meron tayong 1.3 billion smokers in which 80% sila. Yung mga tao na yun is mostly nakatira sila sa mga low and middle income countries. So, isa na dito is yung Philippines. So, kung mapapansin nyo or if maybe some of you are asking, bakit hindi pa iban yung sigarilyo or yung tobacco sa isang bansa if nagkakos naman pala siya ng sakit? The answer is, yung tax kasi na nakukuha natin sa mga sigarilyo is malaki. That is why kapag yun ang nagigain ng isang bansa is that mas nagiging helpful siya sa tax pero hindi sa health ng isang tao. So, this presentation is pinapakita lang kung ano yung mga naging cases ng lung cancer globally and yung mga naging cases niya naman here in the Philippines.
Okay, good day everyone. Before I start, let me show you a talent. Okay, so today I will be vaping. Okay. So clearly, I am not that guy from that video. But what I just showed you is actually connected to my topic. Because today, I will be discussing the risk factors of lung cancer. So, the most significant risk factor is smoking. It is responsible for about 80 to 90% of lung cancer cases. The more a person smokes and the longer they smoke, the higher their risk become. Even people who do not smoke but are exposed to secondhand smoke are still at risk. Exposure to smoke from others people's cigarette. And it's not just smokers who are at risk. If I do that, you are also affected. This is called secondhand smoke. It commonly happens at home, workplaces, and public areas. And even non-smokers can develop lung cancer through continuous exposures. We also have exposure to harmful substances. Okay, now let's say your lungs are damaged. This is a nebulizer. It helps people breathe. So, but imagine needing this just because of exposure. Okay, so certain harmful substances like asbestos, radon gas, arsenic, chromium, nickel, and diesel exhaust can damage lung cells over time. So these are commonly found in workplaces like construction sites, mining areas, and factories. Okay, so this is how a nebulizer works. You're going to just inhale the smoke. Kailangan lang natin langkapin yung smoke na nanggagaling dito or yung nilalabas na smoke ng nebulizer para sa ganon matulungan yung ating lungs. Okay. We also have air pollution. So, this is a humidifier. So, air pollutions from vehicles, industrial smokes, and even indoor pollution can increase the risk of lung cancer when exposure is long-term. So, sa air pollution, sinasabi lang dito, na yung long-term exposure to polluted air ay nag-i-increase ng risk. Tulad ng vehicle emissions, industrial smoke, indoor pollution, for example, yung biomass fuels. Next is radiation exposure. So, exposure to radiation, especially in patients who have undergone just radiation therapy, can also increase the risk of lung cancer. So, lastly, we have lifestyle factors. Ito yung poor diet, so mababa tayo sa fruits and vegetables. We also have lack of physical activity, so wala tayo man lang kahit anong exercise, maglahad-lahad man lang, or magbuhat ng weights, if merong weights sa bahay, tumakbo. Okay. Lifestyle factors such as poor diet and lack of physical activity may also contribute. Also, they are less significant compared to smoking. In conclusion, lung cancer is largely preventable because many of its risk factors, especially in paninigarilyo or smoking, and exposure to harmful substances can be controlled. So awareness and lifestyle changes plays a crucial role in reducing the risk. Okay, before I end my discussion with the risk factors of lung cancer, there's one thing I wanted to say about lung cancer. So there's always a you can in lung cancer. Thank you very much.
So, good day everyone. My name is Andrea Ann M. Samantha from BMLS Studio. So, since hindi nyo makita ng malinaw yung mga nasa likod ko, ipa-flash ko na lang siya dito sa magkabilang kilid ko. So, ang i-discuss natin for today is yung prevention and control ng lung cancer. So, first na nasa part ng aking report is yung concept of prevention. So, ang nasa first bullet is yung reduces risk of developing lung cancer, which means yung prevention, binabawasan natin ang chance na magkaroon ng lung cancer. So, hindi nito ginagaranti na magkaroon agad ng zero risk, pero malaki ang tulong niya para hindi umabot sa disease or hindi siya agad-agad na magkaroon ng lung cancer. So, sa science naman, ginagawa nito ay inaalis or binabawasan ang exposure ng carcinogen, which is yung mga substances nga na nagdudulot ng lung cancer. So, second bullet, focus on avoiding risk factor. So, ang prevention ay nakafocus sa pag-iwas ng risk factor tulad ng smoking, pollution, and harmful chemicals. So, kasi sa lung cancer guys is usually hindi siya biglaan na magkakaroon kaagad ng lung cancer. Pero nagkukas ito ng or nagre-result ito ng long-term exposure of harmful substances. So, promote protective factors naman, hindi lang sa pag-iwas ang prevention, kasama na rin ang pagpapalakas ng katawan. Example for this is yung healthy lifestyles and then yung clean environment. So, this help the body repair damaged cell and maintain normal lung function. And then sa last bullet, yung prevent cell damage or DNA mutation. So, scientifically, ang pinaka-goal ng prevention ay pigilan ng DNA damage. Kasi kapag na-damage ang lung cell, nagkakaroon ng mutation, nawawala ang control ng cell growth, and then nagiging cancer siya. So, prevention is protecting your cell from mutation. So, we have here the primary prevention and then the secondary prevention. Or secondary prevention. So, sa primary prevention, we have here smoking, which is ang pinaka-main cause ng lung cancer is smoking, which is 80 to 90% na. So, smoking is the number 1 cause of lung cancer. Kasi guys, ang usok ng sigarilyo ay may toxic chemical tulad ng tar and carcinogen. So, these chemicals na pumapasok sa lungs natin and then sinisira ang cell na nagdudulot ng mutation. So that's why most lung cancer cases are linked to smoking. So second bullet, avoid or quit smoke. So kapag hindi ka pa naman naninigarilyo, don't ever start or don't you dare start na magsigarilyo ka kasi magkakaroon ka ng lung cancer over the time kapag tinuloy-tuloy mo siya. Kapag naman naninigarilyo ka na, magsimula ka ng tanggalin yan sa lifestyle mo or yung life habit mo. So, because once you stop, mababawasan ang exposure, may chance na ma-repair ang lungs and bumababa ang risk over the time. So, second hand smoke naman, first bullet, avoid exposure. So, second hand smoke means inhale mo ang usok ng ibang tao. So, kapag may kaharap kang naninigarilyo, syempre, hihinga ka. And then, ma-inhale mo din yun. Yun yung tinatawag na second-hand smoke. Kasi kahit hindi ikaw ang naninigarilyo, same harmful chemicals pa rin ang pumapasok sa lungs mo. So, delikado pa rin siya. So, maintain smoke-free environment. So, important na ang paligid mo ay walang usok, lalo na sa bahay at sasakyan. Kasi, dangerous siya and nagkakos siya ng lung cancer. And then if na-avoid mo siya, this can protect children's, family members, and non-smokers. Because long-term exposure can still lead to lung damage, sabi ko nga kanina. So, the last third bullet is yung random exposure. Random, not random. Random exposure. So, first bullet is the test boom. So, random is a radioactive gas na galing sa lupa. Hindi ito maaamoy o makikita, kaya kailangan natin siyang i-test. Kapag tumaas ang random level sa bahay, tumataas ang risk ng cancer. Improve ventilation. Kapag may random, kailangan ng proper ventilation kasi tinutulungan niya tayong palabasin ng gas, mabawasan ang concentration. So, less exposure, less damage sa lungs. Workplace safety, avoid carcinogens or yung asbestos chemicals. Asbestos and then chemicals. So, sa workplace, may mga substance tulad ng asbestos and then industrial chemicals. So, pwede siyang maipon sa lungs natin na magdudulot ng chronic irritation and eventually magiging cancer siya. So, kailangan natin ng use of PPE. So, ang PPE or personal protective equipment is very important kasi this act as a barrier para sa hindi makapasok ang harmful particles sa lungs natin. For example is yung mask. Tinutulong niya yung respiratory natin kasi nga nag-a-act siya as a padera para hindi makapasok ang harmful chemicals or particles sa lungs natin. So, next naman natin yung secondary prevention ng lung cancer. And dito na pumapasok yung early detection screening. So, andito yung low-dose CT scan. Ang low-dose CT scan ay isang imaging test na gumagamit ng low radiation para makita ang lungs. So, nakikita dito yung mga small particles or nagde-detect siya ng mga abnormalities sa lungs. And then, ginagamit siya sa mga high-risk individuals, lalo na yung mga smokers and then yung ex-smokers, yung adults na 50 pataas, and then yung mga taong exposed sa harmful substances ng lung cancer. Then, detects cancer before the symptom. So, ang lung cancer kasi kadalasan is walang symptoms na lumalabas sa early stage. So, dito, nadidetect dito or nahahanap dito ang tumor habang maliit pa siya. And then, nakikita dito ang mga problem mo bago pa siya lumala and maging lung cancer siya. So, it helps the person to detect early symptoms sa lung cancer. And then, let's now go sa control of lung cancer. So, dito sa control, meron tayong treatment na i-discuss ng ibang reporter sa group na to. Which means, sa treatment, meron tayong surgery, chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and then immunotherapy. So, sa goal naman natin is makontrol natin ang tumor and ang tumor growth, ma-prevent ang spread ng metastasis, and then ma-improve ang survival ng isang person na pwede magkaroon ng lung cancer o merong lung cancer. So, that's all sa prevention and control. Thank you so much po.